And welcome to another edition of the Derek Schooley Show. For all you Colonial hockey fans, I'm Tim Benz and Mike Pursuta. We are your broadcast crew for RMU games on Flow Hockey and Sportsnet Pittsburgh, along with Derek Schooley, the head coach of the RMU Colonials, who are heading into the postseason. Robert Morris in playoff mode now, and they're hosting a playoff series against Air Force this weekend coming up Friday, Saturday. 2 games for sure, 7 o'clock both nights. If necessary, a third game on Sunday at 5 p.m. against the Falcons. Derek, let's start right there. I'm going to start with a big picture question for you. 3 years now since the Colonials have been back playing hockey again, and you're third place in the Atlantic and hosting a playoff round. If I had a time machine and came back from the future and told you that would be the case, how would you be feeling about that right now?
It's a tough question to start off with so early in the morning here. I would be, obviously you're really ecstatic. You're happy for the players. You're happy for, the staff, all the people that invested so much to get the program back. I think that's probably the right way to go about it. Thanks to, Matt Nicholson and Ryan DeRocher got us some good hockey players. Marco Trevino and Vinny Petrangelo are doing an outstanding job coaching this team and this year. And just really proud of the response the guys have had in the second half. And I think the one thing that doesn't define our record that defines our record that doesn't look as good is the fact that we weren't very good non-conference, but we found a way to right the ship. 0-7-1 non-conference, but now a winning record in the league, the best record in the league since January. And the fact that we're hosting a playoff game. We wanted to finish in the top 4, get a home ice, get a bye. We did that. Now we need to move on, put that all in the rearview mirror, and be prepared to play a very good, very hot Air Force Falcons hockey team.
Also, a very familiar team to yourself as well as your program, including from the coach on deck. Can you just recap for everyone the special relationship you share?
I mean, I worked for Frank for 5 years. He was my coach in junior hockey. His wife and my wife are very close. His wife is the godmother of my oldest daughter, Caitlin. Very, very. I mean, they're one of their assistants I recruited there. I worked with the other assistant. So I'm very close with their staff. But we've played 4 times in the playoffs. This will be our 5th time, but our first series. And all of them have been 1 games previous. We won the first one. They've won the last 3. 2 of them have been in the finals, and this will be the first series we played. So I think I was fortunate. We were fortunate as a program to get our 300th win against Air Force, and Frank was outstanding about it. Took a picture with a 300 puck, and very close. But we need to put all that happy stuff behind us because we're here for a job.
Is that challenging at all?
I don't think so. I think it's been done enough. We played double overtime last year. I don't think so. I think the guys know what's at stake. We know what's at stake. Our staff knows what's at stake. And then we have to go from there. So no, I don't think it's as challenging as you make it out to be.
I wasn't making it out to be anything, Coach. I was just asking you a question.
Well, along those lines, Derek, and before we dive back into some of the nuances of this series and how your team got here, I'm sure you and Frank both probably want to acknowledge Rick Gotkin on the way out. Your last series of the regular season was against Mercyhurst. You swept the Lakers. Last 2 games for Rick Gotkin, who had been there since 1988 at Mercyhurst. So you and Frank now are the 2 longest tenured coaches in the Atlantic, correct?
CJ Marotola is up there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I think CJ and I both started the same year. But other than that, I think that we are. And, Rick has had an outstanding career. I don't know how he's done it for 38 years. I mean, I'm at 21 years as a coach here at Robert Morris, and it would take me 17 more. And
got that in you?
I don't think so. I don't think I got 17 in me. I got more in me, but not 17. I think you could take that one. I mean, I'd be 72 years old if that happened. So no, I don't think I got 17 more in me.
Yeah, Rick's going out at 66, right? That's how old he is.
Yeah, I mean, what a career. Think about that. Think about how old he was when he started. I mean, if you're 66 and you've been at Mercier's 38 years, that's a pretty good run. I mean, he started really young. So, yeah, hats off to him. Great person, great friend. I went to the U.S. Open with him last year. Me and him. I saw him. I had 2 tickets on Saturday, and I saw him on Friday, and he was working one of the ropes at the U.S. Open. And I said, "Yeah, I think I'm coming back tomorrow, but I don't have anybody to use this other ticket with." Yeah, and he goes, "I'm coming tomorrow. I'm not working." So we spent the whole day together. It was awesome, and he's a good man, good person, and he's earned retirement. That's for sure. 38 years. So congratulations to him.
Derek, there was a time not all that long ago when Robert Morris was right in its element at this time of the year. A lot of success in these playoff series in Atlantic hockey. Anything carrying over through them all? Is there a knack to navigating this type of challenge?
I think we've been playing playoff hockey for so long, and we had in our meetings in January, our individual meetings, we talked about if we were playing playoff hockey, and the resounding answer was no. And in February, the resounding answer was yes, and we've taken massive steps. So we've been playing playoff hockey, but what playoff hockey in the regular season is a lot different than playoff hockey in the playoffs. There's going to be another level that we've got to reach. We've got to get to another level of physicality. There's another level of desperation. There's another level of how you have to play. The turnovers that you can have in regular season are magnified in playoffs. The undisciplined penalties that you take are magnified in playoffs. All those things, the missed shot blocks. But on the other side, the pucks you get deep, the pucks you get on net, the times you take a punch, the times that you do everything to block a shot, those are magnified in a positive way. So everything's going to be magnified in that way. And our motto of every play matters is really happens this in the playoffs. So every play matters.
Derek, going back to the point that you made at the Open at the outset here, talking about how Ryan and Matt recruited some good players as your current assistants, Marco and Vinny have as well. Can you kind of speak to how the program has coalesced to the point here with your talent procurement that has allowed you to be in the top 3 years in?
Well, I think it's about development too. You talk about, they recruited good players, but you also have to make sure that they're developing at the Division I level. You have to handle so many different aspects of it. Major, junior, that opened up the CHL players. You have to be able to handle that, which was something that was an unknown last year. You have to be able to handle the transfer portal. You've got to be able to do a lot of things, but it's also about developing them on the ice and making them play the game the right way and buying into the culture, buying into the systems. And I think our guys have done that, and they've got a tremendous amount of belief right now, and we just need to keep that going.
Coming out of that Mercyhurst series, Derek, what does your roster look like in terms of who might be available this weekend?
I'm not going to tell you that. I mean, you'll find out on Friday when you see a line chart, but we're as closer to healthy than we've ever been in the second half. We were going through a stretch where we were just really beat up. Braden Rourke was playing defense, and we were looking to see who was available on Fridays, and but we're as close to healthy as possible. We've got a couple guys dinged up that are still question marks early in the week, but we'll see how that plays out as the week progresses.
What'd you take away from your first matchup against Air Force earlier in the season out there? You split 2 games. How do they play it this year as opposed to Air Force teams past? And how did you guys respond to what they put on the ice on the road?
Yeah, they're the same. They play the same way. They play hard. They're physical. Their defense are really good. You got Hedden, you got Cunningham, you got Starring. You can go down the list of defensemen that are able to jump up in the play and make plays, and then they've got a really good top line, and they're deep, and you can see it. They went on the road and they were all planning on playing in the seventh place game. They thought there was no way for them to get out of the seventh place game. They gave up some points that they wanted back, and they went out and swept Bentley, the first place team. And so I don't think anybody had it on our bingo cards that we'd be facing Air Force again, but it was a good matchup. Both teams played hard. Wasik has been very good in goal for them. So I think that, it'll be fun, exciting playoff college hockey back on the island, which probably hasn't happened since, COVID, pre-COVID, where there's fans in the stands. So we're excited to get back at it.
Yeah, you got beat 4-1 in the first game out there and then fell behind 2-0 in the second game. And this was back at the time of the season when the Colonials weren't scoring a ton of goals. In retrospect, was that 6-3 victory you were able to come from behind and split the series on the road? Fairly significant development, no?
Well, it put us into a good. You want to win the last game before Christmas break, so you feel good about yourself for a couple of weeks. We were down 2-1 in that game. We scored first. John Babcock scored. They came back. We responded really well in the second and kept our foot on the pedal. I think the biggest thing that allowed us to do is stop at In-N-Out Burger on the way back after we won. So I think that was part of the deal at that time is we'll stop and because we were going to Christmas break. But in all seriousness, it was a good series. Both teams played hard, and here we are back playing again, this time in Pittsburgh.
Derek, if Frank were to be asked the same question that I just asked of you, how do you think he'd answer it? How would he describe your Colonial team as opposed to the one that he used to play all the time, as you were referencing in the postseason? How are you guys a different unit now as you have come together in the 3 years since the relaunch? I mean, you had so much scoring and high-flying offensive potential prior to the shutdown. Where are you guys now in terms of your team building and how you're approaching hockey as opposed to then?
Well, you'd have to ask him, but I think that the job that our players have done in the second half hasn't gone unnoticed by the coaches in the league. I think we've done a really good job in finding our game, finding our identity, and playing and sticking to that identity. We're tied for the nation and leading the nation in block shots. Usually that's a bad thing because it means you don't have the puck a lot. But I think it's a good thing because it shows that our players are selling out to make sure we get the job done in all scenarios. And I think that he would say that he's proud of where we've come from in returning this. And, whatever praise that we get, obviously the players deserve a lot of the credit, and we're just along to facilitate them and kind of lead them in the right direction. So I think that's our players deserve all the credit here, and we're just guiding them in the right direction, and they've bought into the way we're guiding them.
Have you heard from anybody in the wake of that earning that 3 seed? Anybody in the industry reach out, or still too soon for those kind of pats on the back?
No, you get those pats on the back. I mean, we're all fairly friendly. It's college hockey is a small fraternity. Especially within our league being a mid-major, but yeah, you get texts here and there, but like really we accomplished one of our goals. We didn't accomplish a couple of our goals, which were having a winning non-conference record, having a winning overall record. We didn't accomplish.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? Because you burned all that stuff and started over.
That's correct. So we burned all that, and we wanted to finish in the top 4. We want to win. We want to put ourselves in the position to win a championship, and we're 5 games away from doing it. But know that the playoffs are quick in college hockey. It could be snap your fingers, and if you don't come out ready, it could be done really fast either way. So I think that we've got to put that all in the rearview mirror. You accept the congratulations, you accept the accolades, but you throw that right out the window when playoffs come. And we weren't that far apart in the standings. That's the thing that everybody kind of looks at and goes, "Oh, you're third place," but everybody was very similar. I mean, we took in the second half. I'm looking at my board here. We took almost 65% of the points. They've taken over 54%. So it's not really that big of difference. And everybody was so tight that people are like, well, what matchup did you want? I think any matchup is scary. Like Canisius, they're playing in the 7-10 game and they just beat us 7-0. I mean, Army beat us and they're in the 9 seed. Niagara beat us. Mercier's took their first point off of us. I mean, everything. And they were leading with us on 5 minutes to go in the game last game. So, I mean, I just don't think you can take anything for granted. You have to be ready to go. And we can't relax. And it's time to ramp it up a little bit. You've got to be ready to play at a higher level.
Along those lines, Derek, the fact that they did beat Bentley twice, did that get your players' attention because they know how good Bentley is? You tell me. I don't know who Bentley played or didn't play. I know they had the whole thing sewn up going into the last weekend, but do you think your players took notice of Air Force beating Bentley twice when there was something on the table for them to win?
Oh, absolutely. So you talk about they're playing playoff hockey. They needed to win 2 games to make sure they didn't play on Tuesday night. So, yeah, I mean, if they didn't take notice, they're silly. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody sees everything that's going on. You can't run from like the days of not talking about where you're at or not having a standings board in your locker room with the internet and social media and everything. You can't run from results. You can't hide from that. And you might as well embrace it. We're playing a hot hockey team and they're playing a hot hockey team. So embrace it, embrace the challenge, and let's get after it.
Derek, last thing I have for you, what's the expectation for the power play in this series?
I don't know. We've got to be better on the power play unit. We had a 5-minute major against Mercyhurst and we're unable to capitalize. Our penalty killing's been outstanding. We're in the upper half of penalty killing. We've got too many good players for our power play not to be able to produce. I like the guys that we have. I like the looks that we have. It's just about capitalizing on it. Our power play won us a game a couple weeks ago, which might be the first time that they've been able to do that. That was against Canisius the first night. We need to be better on it. Special teams are going to play into because you're not going to have that many of them. We've got to be disciplined. We've got to play hard. We got to stay out of penalty box, no undisciplined penalties, and we've got to capitalize on our opportunities.
Well, Derek, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Best of luck this weekend. It's a big week for Robert Morris Athletics. Got the home basketball game on Wednesday. You guys have a home series on Friday, Saturday, and potentially Sunday. So the mood should be up around campus for everybody to come on out and support both teams. Hopefully you get a big crowd. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait to have playoff hockey back on our ledger, and best of luck against the Falcons this weekend.
Appreciate it. And like you said, playoff hockey's back in Pittsburgh, and NCAA playoff hockey. It's been a long time coming, and we're just excited to get back at it.
Derek Schooley, head coach of the RMU Colonials. You can watch Mike and I on the call if you can't be there yourself at Clearview Arena. Check out Flow Hockey. We'll be on the broadcast for all 3 games if necessary. Definitely the first 2 on Friday and Saturday from the Island Sports Center on Neville Island.